to Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today, Around Kansas starts with the story of Alcove Springs, one of the best-known stops on the Oregon Trail. Next, we get to know Dr. Herschel Stroud, a retired Topeka dentist who travels thousands of miles each year to make presentations on the Civil War. Then enjoy a poem from Ron Wilson, and we'll end with the tale of Elmer McCurdy, the outlaw who wouldn't give up. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road. Well, here we are again. It's Wednesday. I'm Frank and
I'm Deb. Great to see you this morning.
This is Around Kansas. And of course, we're in the second floor of the beautiful Dillon House in Topeka. It's right across from the state capitol, and we'll kind of do a little bit of a commercial here. If you really have an event, this would be the place to have it. If you're going to have some sort of seminar, this would be the place to have it. The holidays are almost here, so it would be a great place.
Oh, they're getting ready to decorate, and they've been showing us the plans. It's going to be gorgeous. I can't wait. So, still a really busy October, and this weekend I'm going to be up in Atchison, where they're having the Smoky Hill Trail Association meeting, and they're getting ready to plant another BOD marker, Butterfield Overland Dispatch marker, there in Atchison to mark the beginning of the trail. Really excited about that, and you can probably still be a part of this conference. Just look them up online, Smoky Hill Trail Association. Great bunch of folks, and they're doing some really great things. Then on Sunday, I'm going to be the guest speaker at Valley Falls for their historical society. Valley Falls, another great historic area with a Buffalo Bill connection. His dad helped found Valley Falls, which used to be Grasshopper Falls.
Yes, I was just going to say Grasshopper Falls.
Grasshopper Falls.
And there really is a falls there.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, several years ago they uncovered it because I lived there for a few years, and I asked too when I first moved there, is there a falls?
Is there really a falls?
Yeah, it's over there, and I had to go looking for it, but now you can see it. So.
It's a really pretty community. It's just a great community, and the Historical Society there is very active. Just some great folks that a big group, and they're doing lots of cool things, and you know we. Got similar groups all over the state doing really cool stuff to preserve their history.
During Bleeding Kansas, before the actual Civil War, there was a battle of Grasshopper Falls. You know about that?
A little bit.
Well, they fought for 2 days, and really, they were fighting over a whiskey wagon.
Hey.
And after 2 days, they said, and everybody went home.
It was probably all gone by then. There wasn't much left.
There was no one killed, and I think a couple injured. But
well, you got to keep your priorities straight. You know, there probably after a couple of days wasn't anything left to fight over, was there?
That's right. Yeah, it was gone.
That's one way. So what are you up to this month?
Oh gosh, October is just mostly it's following grandchildren around to their various sports, soccer and volleyball and what have you. So that keeps me pretty busy. So any treks out of the city are so-so.
We were talking at some event last week or so about it's a shame you have to go through kids to get grandkids, because grandkids are so much more fun than actual kids are. You know, it's just grandkids are wonderful, and you get to hang with them and spoil them and then send them to somebody else.
Yeah, send them home.
Send them home. That's right.
I'm done. All right.
Got some great stuff. Stay with us.
Yeah.
Now another gardening tip with Annette Jackson.
Now's the time to overseed your lawn. The success of your lawn depends on the quality you plant and the proper fertilizer. Plant 100% weed-free seed with top-rated varieties tested by KSU. Always use Fertilome New Lawn Starter for faster, stronger root development. Don't waste time and money with lower quality seed from the box stores.
Join the Jackson's Greenhouse WIBW Garden Club and save 10% on your lawn seed and Fertilome new lawn starter.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
To see this show and past episodes of Ag AM in Kansas, go online to agamnkansas.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life. And we're back. You know, I just had this thought. It's very obvious we're back, but we have to, I guess we have to think we have to say, we're back. Oh, hey, I know you know this, but you know, Kansas had all kinds of trails coming through it. I mean, we're pretty much the center of the United States, and so there were cattle trails, and of course there were trails
just like this,
heading to Oregon and California and all of that. And this was one of the stops. So with that, I'm going to kind of let you talk a little bit about that.
Well, if you haven't been to Alcove Springs, it is beautiful, and it's easy to see why it became a popular stop with folks along the Oregon Trail. And it's just it's like an oasis in the prairie, you know, with the trees, and it's beautiful. Falls, again, they do have actual little falls there, but it's just one of those beautiful. Must have been a beautiful respite for the pioneers that were coming through. So we're going to take a look at that. Our friend Bob Hord, state archaeologist, recently headed a group of volunteers that conducted an archaeological survey at Alcove Springs on the Blue River downstream from Marysville. As Bob wrote in the Kansas Preservation magazine, Alcove Spring is one of the best known stops on the Oregon Trail and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Proposed parking areas necessitated the investigation to ensure that nothing important would be lost or disturbed. The army of volunteers turned up a few artifacts, including a 5-cent piece from 1866, but not enough to delay the construction plans. This picturesque area was a favorite campsite near the Independence crossing of the Big Blue River. The spring originates in an unusual rock formation and falls over a rock ledge into a pool below. Immigrants carved their names in rocks surrounding the spring, and many of these carvings are still visible. The ill-fated wagon train led by George Donner and James Reed camped here in May 1846. Later that year, trapped in the Sierra Nevada mountains, some of the pioneers resorted to cannibalism to survive. While camped here in the lushness of Alcove Spring, though, one of their number wrote, "We found a large spring of water, as cold and pure as if it had just been melted from ice. It gushed from a ledge of rocks which composes the bank of the stream, and falling some 10 feet, its waters are received into a basin. A shelving rock projects over this basin, from which falls a beautiful cascade of water, some 10 or 12 feet. The whole is buried in a variety of shrubbery of the richest verdure. Altogether, it is one of the most romantic spots I ever saw. We named this the Alcove Spring, and future travelers will find the name graven on the rocks and on the trunks of the trees surrounding it." Reed's mother-in-law died while the party was waiting for the river to fall enough to cross. She was buried somewhere in the area. In September, the Topeka Symphony Orchestra opened its 70th season at Alcove Spring. Kyle Wiley Pickett, music director and conductor, told the Topeka Capital Journal that performing music in the natural setting of Alcove Spring was an unparalleled experience. Alcove Spring is located about 6 miles south of Marysville on the River Road. Follow the highway directional sign.
Now another gardening tip with Annette Jackson.
Fall is a great time to plant trees, shrubs, and perennials. Root development this fall means more growth with less watering next year. For faster root growth, always use Fertilome Root Stimulator. It is the only stimulator which contains IBA rooting hormone. Use Fertilome tree and shrub food after the plant has been planted for a month.
Save 25% now on Jackson's homegrown hardy perennials. Let Jackson's friendly staff help you select the best plants for your landscape.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
I'm not going to say we're back.
I'm not going to say it, no. See, we really are.
Yeah, but we're back.
See, we do have a lot of fun. We're so happy that you join us every Wednesday here on Around Kansas. You know, we have talked about so many people that are in the entertainment industry from Kansas. And there's another one that I know you know him quite well, and he's having a kind of a landmark birthday. So I'll let you talk a little bit about Herschel Stroud.
Well, he's just one of my dearest friends. He and Jackie both are just the most amazing people. And we've been involved in a lot of history events the entire time I've lived in Kansas, pretty much. And they're just the most amazing couple. And yes, he just marked his 85th birthday, which is unbelievable. This man's energy is just unreal, and Jackie matches him every step of the way. Just awesome folks, awesomely talented and generous, and just can't say enough good about him.
Yeah. Isn't he a reenactor and he does a dentist?
He's a reenactor. He does, you name it, he does it. There's nothing he doesn't do.
Herschel Stroud just celebrated his 85th birthday. His energy and that of his wife Jackie would make most 20-year-olds envious. Herschel retired from dentistry but hardly took to the rocking chair. Rather, he took to the roads. The Strouds travel thousands of miles every year to make presentations on Civil War history. Herschel often appears as a Civil War-era doctor, and Jackie portrays Mary Ann Bickerdike, a Civil War nurse and veterans advocate. Herschel has portrayed Samuel Crawford on many occasions, the state's third governor. When not traveling, the two are ardent KU fans and can be found cheering on the Jayhawks. Herschel is truly a Renaissance man of many talents, not the least of which is music. He performs with the Kings of Swing. Kings of Swing, a 14-piece ensemble that began in 1981, but traces its origins to the Carl Johnson Orchestra, which got its start in the early 1930s in the north-central Kansas town of Marysville. Herschel has worked for decades with Ray Rathert, the director of the Kings of Swing, which performs at a variety of events throughout the year. Most Kings of Swing performances include dancing by attendees, a staple of the music, when it was first heard several generations ago. The Kings of Swing specializes in swing dance hits of the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, made popular by musicians such as Glenn Miller, Tommy Dorsey, Benny Goodman, Harry James, Count Basie, Woody Herman, and many more. Among hits performed by Kings of Swing are as follows: A String of Pearls, Cab Driver, Lazy River, Kansas City, Moon River, Pennsylvania 65000, Sentimental Journey, and Tuxedo Junction. Herschel is a vocalist and plays trombone. Whether grasping a scalpel to demonstrate the 19th century medicine or singing the classics, Herschel lives with passion. What a life.
I'm a patient of Kansas Regenerative Medicine in Manhattan. I had stem cell therapy in my hips and my left knee. My wife and I both are patients. We went down there the same day in November. Since then, my hips are feeling a lot better. I can work now most of the day if I want to. And before, if I worked in the morning, I was done in the afternoon, or if I worked in the afternoon, I was sure enough done for the rest of the day.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. Visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
We've started having weddings out at the ranch, and that makes for some interesting combinations when cowboy culture encounters bride and family. This is a poem I wrote titled, Just a Bit Off. The cowboy stared in bewilderment across the crowded room, filled with vendors, young women, and a prospective groom. A lady said, "May I help you, sir?" as she gave a curious look and handed him a copy of the wedding exhibitor book. The puzzled cowboy said, "Well, where is all the tack?" "I don't know what that is," said the lady, taken aback. "I mean the bit and bridle, the saddle and the reins," the utterly confused cowboy said as he explains. The lady said, "Young man, you must be in the wrong place," with a look of uncertainty showing on her face. She added, "Let me explain. This is our spring bridal show, which a future bride will visit with her family and her beau. We have caterers, photographers, DJs, and hotels around town, tuxedo rentals, wedding venues, and designers of bridal gowns. We don't have any tack," she said to the young man, "just 100 different vendors to help with wedding plans." The loudspeaker began to play a pretty wedding song. The cowboy said, "I heard some talk, but I guess I got it wrong, so I'm sorry to have troubled you. I think that I should go, because I was looking for a different kind of bridal show. Happy trails."
Earlier in my life, I rode bucking horses and rodeos, and my shoulders took such a beating, and that was probably the reason for having several previous surgeries on both shoulders. About a year ago, I decided that I didn't want to have another surgery. And so I contacted Kansas Regenerative Medicine, took their treatment process. It was relatively pain-free. Now, after 8 months, my shoulders have healed to the point where I think I'm probably 90 to 95% of normal. It takes a couple of months to start to see results with stem cell injections, but at about 3 to 3.5 months, I started to feel better. I started to have less pain and feel real progress. That continued to increase gradually until now at approximately 8 months. And I'm extremely pleased. I've got full range of motion. I can lift weights, I can throw, I can do a lot of things that I couldn't do without a lot of pain previously.
Heinen Brothers Ag Service understands the risk and rewards of farming. As fourth-generation farmers themselves, they understand the importance of using the correct products on every acre. Farmers helping farmers. Heinen Brothers Ag offers quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia. Call today at 800-760-4964 or find us online at HeinenBrothersAg.com.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. Go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Okay, Frank, I bet you haven't heard of this next guy. He's one of my favorite outlaw stories in the Wild West, Mr. McCurdy. And I got to visit his grave down in Guthrie, Oklahoma. I think it was in April when we were down for the Wrangler Awards. McCurdy, I don't know how to not give the story away, but he was not a very successful outlaw. And I will say this, he winds up as a mummy, and he winds up as basically a sideshow exhibit. And that sounds really crazy, but you can't believe how many mummies there were traveling in the 19th century and early 20th century. That was really common. In fact, after John Wilkes Booth died, the man who killed Abraham Lincoln, there were 3 mummies traveling the country that were supposed to be John Wilkes Booth, and for a nickel, you could pay to see the mummy of the man who killed the president. So the fact that poor Mr. McCurdy here ends up a mummy is really not that odd, but the rest of the story really is.
Oh, well, I'm going to watch this one with you. So here's the rest of the story.
You might think Elmer McCurdy would have given up when his attempts to blast into safes went awry. In one try, he used so much nitroglycerin that it destroyed most of the money he was trying to steal. Another time, the nitro melted the silver coin. In a Chautauqua, Kansas bank, they blew the vault door clear through the bank, but couldn't get through the interior door and made away with only change. In 1911, he and his crew planned to rob the Katy train, carrying $400,000 to the Osage Nation. Only he stopped the wrong train. 3 days later, he was surrounded and shot dead by the law. Poor Elmer's body was taken to a funeral home in Pawhuska, Oklahoma, where it went unclaimed. The owner embalmed the body using an arsenic preservative to halt decomposition. Hoping to make $1 off the unclaimed cadaver, he gave McCurdy a shave, dressed him in street clothes, and put him up for display. For a nickel, you could see the, quote, bandit who wouldn't give up. This would go on for 5 years until out of the blue, McCurdy's long-lost brother, Aver, arrived in town to claim the body. After satisfying local law enforcement and paying the undertaker for expenses, the body was released into his care, where it was supposed to be shipped to California for burial. Instead, it was sent to Arkansas City, Kansas. It turns out that Aver's real name was James Patterson, partial owner of the Great Patterson Carnival Show. McCurdy's corpse was renamed, quote, the outlaw who would never be captured alive, and traveled with the carnival until 1922. Following a series of owners, the body eventually ended up in an LA warehouse until it was sold to the Hollywood Wax Museum and then in 1976 to a funhouse in Long Beach, California. On December 8, 1976, the crew for the $6 Million Man were filming an episode in the funhouse where McCurdy's body was thought to be part of the set. However, when one of the prop men tried to rearrange the wax mannequin, the arm broke off, revealing human bone and tissue. The police were called in and an investigation ensued. After a slew of forensic tests and detective footwork, McCurdy was identified. In 1977, a funeral procession transported McCurdy to Boot Hill in Guthrie, Oklahoma. McCurdy was buried next to Bill Doolin. Pretty good company, considering McCurdy never managed to successfully complete one single robbery. That's another one in the bag, Frank.
I love that one. So anyway.
Well, we're not back, but we'll be back next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, same place, same time, same station, or wherever you are. So anyway, I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And we'll see you somewhere around Kansas. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
Homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.